Check it out. Daytona weave carpet in our 56 Bel Air. We got that done this weekend. Cut it, got it tucked in all the right places, fitted in just right. Got our kick panels in, our vents working again. It's all in this episode, so if you're interested in seeing how we got this done this week and installing this two-piece Ciadella Daytona weave carpet for our 56 Bel Air, stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to Restore Christine. Christine's well on her way. We're on the interior. All right, this is going to be the third or fourth video on the interior. So I've done my windlace. I've done the tack strips for the windlace, of course. I did my headliner was the last thing, and now today I'm working on carpet. So let's just dive right into it. So here's Christine. Her floor is all insulated. With like a Dynamat equivalent. This is like just butyl rubber mat. It's real cheap and inexpensive. I'll put a link to the video when I did all that and when I insulated the ceiling. And that's the new headliner is in there. So I've got this carpet from Ciadella, and this is the two-piece Daytona kit. I've had it sitting out here. I apologize for not taking it out of the box in front of you, but I had to get this out here because I was sitting in the hot garage because my garage is like super hot and sweltery. So I took a steamer and I steamed all the creases that were in it, and then I stuck it in Christine, and I had it just laid out just to kind of see. And I dug out my accelerator pedal bolt holes. I've got those found, and so there's a number of different things going on over here that have to be right. I got my firewall pad has been inserted a long time ago, and the carpet is supposed to stick underneath that rubber flange. Of course, I've got some wiring here. I don't know why I haven't yet finished that up, but I'm going to get to it eventually. It's a lot of dash lighting. And then one of the things is, I didn't quite know, I can't find a reference to how far back this carpet needs to go. I've got the book that shows you how to install the back piece, but the book doesn't tell you a thing about the front. Let me show you. So in the book, they show you everything about the seats and then the headliner, and then when it comes to like even the convertible top and the door panels, they show you all of that. And they show you all the rear panels. This is the upholstery book. And then in section 6, I believe it is. Section 6, here we go. There you go. It starts with the carpet. Carpet for a hardtop model, carpet for a sedan model. That's what Christine is right here, 1011D. So it just shows you the back carpet, but notice what's missing. It doesn't show where relative to the back does this go. It shows you the door jambs. Okay, well, how do I know that my door jambs how do I know that that was stitched correctly? It's a Ciadella Daytona carpet. I'm assuming it's correct, but how far back does that go? I'll show you that in a second. But it shows, there's a few notes here. One is it shows that you apply a contact cement in the corners, right in the nape of where the axle, drive shaft tunnel comes down to the lower floorboard. And then they also show this point number 1, and they say jute, secure to back side of carpet with whatever something cement applied to carpet surface only. Always apply jute to carpet before cement dries. Okay, so what I have a padded carpet set. So I'm not sure if this is Ciadella's version that they make this their way, but it's got a foam pad on it, and it's got a felt back. So this is already laminated with a padding in between, and it's got the Daytona, canvas looking weave on the top. And here's what I was talking about. So this comes back to here, but it's like, look, a straight edge coming to a corner. Well, does it come to there? Does it come to there? Does it jam up? Which way does it go? Because it makes a difference back here. Here, does it come to this point? Does it come to that point? Does it ride up? Because every one of those potentially works with this. So I wanted to make sure that I did not install this too far forward or too far back. Another clue that we have is up here. I've got the bolt holes, and there's a bolt hole for the rear of the driver's side seat bracket that comes forward to, there's a bolt hole here and a bolt hole there. So I know that this should be somewhere around here, but I don't know for certain. I've got new sill plates, and I'll figure out how far inward, but this needs to like drape over the transmission tunnel, glue to both sides. How far forward and aft does it go? Well, you know what's going to tell us that? Our seat. So sorry you can't really see much. My garage is jammed up, but here are my seats that I reupholstered. I've got a whole video series on these, but I went and got them just now from the warehouse where I did them, and these are ready to go. This is also the same Ciadella interior kit, but I want to see exactly where this edge of this back seat falls within Christine. So I want to see that, and then so that's what I'm going to do in order to figure out where the forward and the back location of the carpet is. So let's just start diving in and see what we come up with. Well, that answers that. It comes way forward. I've got it bumped up against back here against the two wheel wells. So even if it did slid a little bit further back, right now I don't have the back end, so it's not going to be difficult to get it in, but you can see I'm just touching where the vertical piece is right there. So that's a good, 3.5, 4 inches forward. Let me see if I can tilt this up and we can see. You see, I got a lot back there. So this is not critical. This just needs to go. Let's go get the sill plates and see how the sill plate looks, and that might tell me how far forward or backwards I want to put this. Golly, that's going to look so good. So I've never uncorked these. These are new sill plates that I ordered a long time ago. What I was doing over the entire time I've been working on Christine, when I would think of something, I was like, oh, I'm going to need that, I would order it. And so I've ended up with parts all over the place, and because my mind is no longer that of a young man, I forget things. So I've ordered several things twice, sometimes 3 times. Ooh, let's see what this came from H&H. What did we give up from? How long ago was this? Almost a year ago. Stainless steel screws. Just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and go buy boxes of 50 of number 8s, some number 10s, a lot of the oval heads. Look how pretty. And you just need to have them on hand. Yep, looks like it did come with stainless steel screws. Awesome. Body by Fisher. Perfect. So we're going to see where this goes on the back. Now I'm used to the, like on the Cutlass, I got a 71 Cutlass, and this rides up, and that windlace goes into a little channel. But this looks like it's almost just totally square cut. Let's go ahead and I'll get this out of the pack, and then we'll see what it looks like on the door sill. So normally I would save this for the end of the video, right? Show you the final touches. But I need to make sure I understand how everything fits together before I start nailing anything to the floor. Literally. So here's the rocker panel, and my original screw holes 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can see how that was originally centered. And it fits in like this. Okay, so it looks like it's right at the nape where it almost comes down. Let's get in on that. So let's see, where's the screw hole? So the screw hole is right there. I'm on it, and that's where that's fitting. It's right there. This whole dog leg, I made all this out of sheet metal. You ought to see that. I got a video, I'll put a link to it up there. When I put the rocker panels in. Okay, so on the front, similarly. All right. So that means my carpet, when my carpet comes down, my carpet needs to be I probably want, find that screw hole again. Right there. So I probably want my carpet to be like here, right there. Yeah. That'll trim out nice. So that's what we'll do. We're going to bring it like this. So basically, the carpet is going to land pretty much where that's on the flat. And that's going to give us, it goes underneath the seat. But like I showed you, it's got 3 or 4 inches clearance back there, so that's fine. Now, one more thing is where the front and the rear pad, or the carpet, there's a gap, which I don't understand why. All you need is the two brackets, bracket bolt flanges to come down on both sides. So what I'm going to do is, in addition to this, I have some jute. So I'm planning on gluing down some jute right there to give me a little bit of extra insulation and a little bit of sound dampening. All right, so we are figuring it out. That's how far we need to come here. What I might do is I'll probably go ahead and put a piece of tape or something here. All right, so let's see. Let me get that seat out, and we know what to do now. Now that I pulled the seat out, look, this is where so that's where the tape wanted to be, right there. That's where it wants to be. Got it marked. And that's falling about an inch short. An inch short of back here. Let's see how it compares to the bolt holes. The bolt hole is back here. So right about there. All right, so this is not exactly cut, just perfect. I wonder why. So now if I put it on a transmission tunnel, what I need to do is I need to mark a center line and see how we're going to fit in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it against the transmission tunnel. But I'm concerned about it pucka-puckaing up here and being, riding up. So let's see. We'll have to play around with it and see which one goes over. I guess it goes over that way. All right. I'm kind of like I've been working it, and it looks like it's going to do just fine. Got it. Like as long as you push it, once I push it into the corner and take that up, looks like its length is working just fine on both sides. So it's not gathered or anything like that. So now my debate is whether or not I want to supplement this area with any jute. And I'll pull it back, kind of see what I'm dealing with here. Got a little bit of a well. So, that padding kind of works. I don't know. I decided to do it. I've got the jute. I've got the materials. I got plenty of jute left over from doing the seats. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a couple of pieces. I'm going to put one piece here, one piece over there. I'm not going to glue it to the carpet. I'm going to glue it to the floor, because it just needs to stay, mostly stay put. See, come back here. I'm going to go about to here, right about where it starts to climb up. If you're doing any of this stuff, if you're doing any upholstery, do yourself a favor. Invest in these monsters. I bought these a long time ago, and they have paid off in spades. In spades. So I'm using Gorilla contact cement, contact adhesive. So I'm almost out of this. This is one can, and this one can did me for everything so far, including all my seats, my seat shells, headliner, and it's almost out, but I've got another can. So let's see, this is where I want it. I want it to be about an inch clear and about 1.5 inches or 2 inches clear of the back. So I am going to spray this. It's almost out. Turn this over. Spray this the right way. Let's see. Let me flip it this way. All right. And that should glue down. It gets tacky pretty quickly. Oh, missed a spot. There we go. sprays like cotton candy. And this, you know, the carpet's going to hold this down, right? So I mean, it's not super critical. But this little extra padding probably, oh yeah, oh that's pretty. Right, so I know it said to glue it to the carpet only. Well, I'm going to glue it to the floor only. I don't want to glue it to the back of my carpet in case I don't like it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. Go ahead and do that one. Same thing. And we're about out. We're about out. We're about out. Ah, it's dying. It's dying. Yep, we gotta get the other can. Okay. Well, I'll be so glad to not be stepping on all this tar paper, man. This butyl mat. Boy, man, it makes a mess. It's ruined shoes. It's ruined all kinds of stuff. All right. There we go. What smells like, it sprays like cotton candy. All right. Yep, it's about 2 inches behind my seat bolts. That looks great. Go with that. So what I'm going to do is I am now at the end of this tape. I'm going to pull this all the way over here as much as I can. And I'm going to leave that right there. And this is cut presumably square. So I'm going to tape this down so it does not move. I do not want this moving. I want to make sure it's square. So I'm pretty sure they cut it square. I'm going to tape this down like this. Take this around here. I don't want it moving. So now that I've got that here, what I need to do is make sure that I'm square back here. And then I can start gluing it. So I need to find the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over to here. And then I'm going to cut a little nape right at the back edge. So I'm going to find where this is right here. Make sure that that is square, squared up, and that's it right there. I'm going to cut a little nape right there, nothing more than that. So now when I open it up, that should be on the center of the transmission tunnel. That should be right here, and it looks like it's bunching. Looks like it's bunching up a little bit. So we're going to have to make sure we fight it to get it where we need it to be. So this is going to be important because this doesn't really want to be right there. It wants to be, you see how it bunches up? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I use that to index everything. But I'm going to spray, right in that nape from this folded seam all the way across. Some people say, oh, I don't use contact cement or I don't use glue when I do my carpets. Well, that's between you and not me. I'm doing what the factory said. I learned that lesson once on the headliner. Tell me about not gluing. There's that. All right, so what I really need to do is get, I'm going to even glue them right at the center. Right at the center. because I just want it to be where it's got to be. I'll probably glue this other center too. See if I can. Oh man, I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk that getting it all over the Daytona carpet. So let me pick this up, bring this where it's supposed to be. So in the center of the tunnel. Yeah, something like that. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, it'll bunch. It'll bunch. What I might have to do, you know what I'm gonna do? Since I know I've got this hose, I'm gonna end up cutting a little bit of relief right here, just to get that bunching out of it. Just to get that bunching out of it. Let's cut a little bit of a relief right there. Boy, that made a difference. That made a difference. Let me show you that. Just that little bit, and it's allowing all this to really lay down now. All right. So I'm probably going to put a little more glue to tack this down at the back. All right, that looks awesome. So I had to cut just a little tiny relief right here. And then I sprayed a little bit of contact cement on the back so that I could stretch it and move it and have it stay. But look how flat that looks. Look how flat that looks. A piece of jute underneath, that's perfect. Look at it over here. It's coming right up to the windlace. And what? It's right at where, pretty close to where I put my tape. It moved a little bit, but not enough to worry about. So now we need to do the other side the exact same way. All right, first thing is I need to cut that relief before I glue anything. So that is like right here, right in this nape, right there. Not much, about an inch. And plenty of cover. All right, fold it over. Fold it over. And then spray that and the same thing on the carpet. I'm going to spray, it says 4 inches. It says 4 inches in the book, a 4-inch strip. So now I need to get this right there and get this edge without getting it all over the rest of it. There it is. Okay. Bring this, make sure that this is going to land. I need to make sure that this corner over here, I don't know if you can see that, but this corner over here, which I didn't mark, but I know where it is relative to the other side. It's about like that. And I can judge from the distance from here to here. Let's get it down in the transmission tunnel. Oh, I got a bunch. Yep, there we go. There we go. Down. Well, this side didn't bunch as much as the other one. I didn't even need that relief nape. Don't know what's up with that, but there you go. All right, so more or less the back is in. It is in. Okay. Turning our attention to the front now, starting to try to fit it in. You can see it's already pre-cut over there for the emergency brake pull out. And you see how it's a little low. So that needs to go up. But what it needs to do is it needs to tuck underneath that rubber lip on the bottom of the firewall pad. But the steering shaft, that whole cover on it is in the way. So I might need to undo that a little bit to get it underneath there. But that's going to shove underneath. And then the other thing that I have is I have Christine's 4 on the floor, right? So I got a stick shift underneath here. I've got to cut that. And I also have to cut the push down switch for the emergency, for the high beams. And then I need to cut a slot for my accelerator pedal. Accelerator pedal comes through, and this part pokes through the carpet. So I don't think this can be disassembled. I wish it could, but it's going to be really, really hard. So I'm going to have to see what to do about that. I don't know if they gave me a ferrule. I'm going to look. I know they gave me a ferrule for the emergency. I'm sorry, for the high beam kickdown. I know they gave me a ferrule for that. I don't know that they gave me a ferrule for the accelerator pedal. But I've already found my bolt holes and know where they are. And the instruction manual also doesn't tell you anything about the front. Nothing. So I'm guessing on this, and I'm betting that it wants the same thing in the nape. Get that underneath there. That'll be physically held down. That's right up against the cardboard kick panels on both sides. And then it just comes back where it comes back here, and it's going to land somewhere up here. So let's see, about like that. So that's where it is, and it comes about like this in the corner, and that ought to work. That ought to work. All right, well, false start. So I started to try to figure out how this is going to fit in, and I know I've seen some carpet things that says we'll work only with original cardboard kick panels. So these are the kick panels that came from Ciadella, and it's literally nothing more than just cardboard covered with the vinyl, and it's got a little flap that looks like it's going to go. I still have the plate that's on the floor, and it's got a couple of tabs, but I think this goes in between the tabs and the back, this little backing plate that's a little leg that kicks up here. And I see a diagram in my upholstery manual that says that it comes behind the channel for the windlace. So the windlace is here, and that's the channel, and it's got a channel. The backside's also a channel. So that's where this pops in. But what that means is, as I was trying to fit this in, the carpet was completely in the way. So what that means is, I think I need to not put the carpet in before I put the kick panels in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the kick panels in. But what that also means is the vent. I need to pull out my pull levers, the cables that mount underneath here, and or they mount somewhere. I don't remember where the heck they mount. But I need to get those cables out, and might need to do some restoring on them in order to control this gate. So I've got to figure all of that out on this side and that side. Plus, I've got to restore, or I've got to do my grill plates. So these are the original grill plates that were there for the fresh air vents. This is the kick panel that was in Christine before. Don't ask me why it's burgundy, but it's pop rivet, and you'll notice all the moisture. So here's another thing, is I'm going to put some material in the back of all of this to help waterproof it. I'm going to show you what that's all about in a little bit. But I've got to go ahead and get these things cleaned up and painted. It just never ends. So with those kick panels, door panels, and the rear quarter panels, they're all made out of the same cardboard material, right? Right there, they're made out of that cardboard. So if it gets wet, it does this. And Christine had a leak, had all kinds of leaks in the cowl, and I repaired all those over time. But now, so what I don't want is I don't want any of my interior to ever have this happen to it if ever it does come into contact with water. So they used to make paper, craft paper, that would go in the back, and it would act as a lining. But I'm going to show you what I found. This you can get from like Lowe's or Home Depot, and this is basically underlayment for laminate floor. This is the real thin stuff. It's 100 square foot in a roll, about $50 a roll, and it is completely waterproof. I'll show you. Here's the end. So this is what I bought. Floor muffler by Encore for vinyl plank floors. And when you see it, it's real thin, but this impresses me to be, it's kind of like foam, you know. So this is pliable. This is pliable, and this, what we're going to do is we're gonna glue this to all of our door panels. We're going to glue that to everything. And I've got another trick that I'll do when I get to some of the other openings with some butyl tape. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this to the back of those kick panels. And here's how it came out. So I painted it cast iron gray. I wanted the contrast. I mean, I know I could have painted it red to match, but I wanted this contrast. So I painted it cast iron gray, and then I got screws in the 1, 2, 3, 4 holes that don't have sheet metal back here. So there's a screw that goes into a tab, screw that goes into a tab there. Now watch the back side. Look at that. Look at that. So that is now a lot more watertight, a lot more waterproof than it was before. So I'm liking that a lot. Very pleased with that. I used, I didn't have any speed nuts for the back of these, so I used a piece of tack strip. So that's looking good. So now I need to get my vents operational. I need to do the same thing with the other side. And here's that paint that I used. So this is Seymour. This is available at AutoZone. Seymour Original Cast Iron Gray Finish. And it comes out satin. And it looks really pretty. Looks really pretty. All right, cue the SpongeBob thing. 3 hours later. Holy cow, I've been fighting this vent. But I finally got it. Let me show you what happened. All right. So the vent lever, it's this pull cord here, right? So I had to restore this. I had to go find it, and I found it, and I had to restore it, and it was basically jammed. So I had to, this is all gnarly and ugly, and I had to repaint it. And that's the original 1956 knob, and I polished it lightly on my my polishing wheel. But I had to more or less rebuild this whole thing. So let's see, it's closed now. Now it's open. All right. So you see where the pull cord, the cable goes to the end of here. Well, there's a tab right here. There was a tab. And on the back here. And it broke. And it was a clutch head screw, and I couldn't get it. So don't laugh, but that is the clip from a tape measure. It's holding this cable from sliding back and forth. So now when I actuate it and I push it in, it closes. Pull it. So it's working. All right. Now the second thing is this flap. This was this, all broken and cracked and junk. So I basically fit in, I took a screwdriver and twisted until I got it opened up a little bit, and I fished in a piece of rubber. This is pond liner. You can get the same thing. This is basically like heavy duty inner tube material, but that's all this is. But I got it. So now hopefully the other side's not going to be that bad, but I got to do the same thing on the other side so I can put the kick panel in, and then I can put the carpet in. So, but we're getting it. We're getting it. We're getting it. Let me just keep on trudging. Oh, I see it. The screws are in the way. Gotta get the screws over it. Wow. What a mess. getting close. Getting close. Just gotta bend it. Wow. I really didn't want to do that, but you have to. You have to basically force it. Come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Last little bit on the bottom. All right. I think it needs to go up. Yep. Up. Oh, that's fitting nicely. All right, so now I got to get a screw here and here. And that's going to look good. Whew, okay. Glad I did that with the carpet out. All right, hopefully I can find, hopefully that's going to hit the screw hole. We'll find out. My flashlight died, but I had to chase that hole with a drill bit, but I got it. Oh, that's tight. That's good. Woohoo! All right, need to get one up there, and I think that's pretty much it. I think that's it. So sure enough, passenger side, same thing. I had to change or modify the rubber flap, but I got it working. Here's the original handle. So pull that wire out of the way. Pull it, and it opens. Push it, and it closes. And this one didn't fit quite as well, but I mean, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but it's a lot better than it was because it was cracked open. So there we go. Open, closed. And that's the original 1956 knob and cable. Here's a kick panel. And I got the waterproofing on the back. I got the dummy screws, the screws that just hold the vent grill to the kick panel, and then the two remaining screws are the ones that go into the two holes. So let me go ahead and get that in, but I'm gonna have to bend it, and that's how it's gonna work. All right, there it is. That looks really good. All right. Look how it ties in with the windlace, the new channel that holds the windlace, the grill. I like that the grill is a contrasting color. This is my clock bulb. It's just in my way. The clock, with all this vintage air and my speaker back there, I don't have room for this bulb, so I just haven't figured out what to do with it. I probably just need to cut it off or take the bulb out and get this to where it won't short out and just tuck it underneath here or something. But anyway, I got everything else tucked. All right, that one looks good. Turn the light out. Okay. Now I need to really start fitting this carpet. All right, I am trying to fit it over here. I've got it jammed all in a corner, and I got it shoved all the way up to where it'll tuck underneath that piece of rubber. That's this rubber flap on the bottom of the, from here to here, on the bottom of the firewall pad. So now I've got the high beam button cut out, and I've got a grommet that I'm trying to squeeze in. And it's hard to cut that hole. So I'm trying to squeeze this in from the back side, but we're coming along. I tell you what, I don't know what I'm gonna do for this, for my accelerator pedal, my gas pedal, because I've got the two screws right here. I'm not quite sure if that's not supposed to go from the top and just go through and through it instead of fishing and then screwing behind it. I don't know. All right, I got it. I got it. So now let me go ahead and see if I can't slide that up and see how it fits. Fits pretty good. Yeah, that looks great. And then this is up about as high as it needs to be. All right, and then this is trailing down by the door. I know it's twisted. It's twisted. All that needs to go up. Yeah, all that needs to go up, and that's going to pull this way, and that'll get it fitting. Ben, you would think. I've been at this all day. This is a long day. You would think just fitting two pieces of carpet, but nope. I mean, the kick panels, and then the vents, and cutting the carpet, and but it's coming. Keep going. All right, this is the last video for this evening. The last part of it. It's getting late. So I keep shoving that up in that corner, and every time I do, I come over here and I was like, all right, where's the accelerator pedal gonna go? So I picked it up, and I got my 2 screws underneath there. If you can see them. Those 2 screws. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to have this side shoved all the way up, and then I'm gonna have to cut a slot, because I'm looking at this accelerator pedal, this gas pedal, and no matter how you would put this gas pedal on here, that would look terrible. That would look absolutely terrible. No way. I mean, I'm just not doing it. So we're gonna go through it. So we're gonna have to find where those 2 screws are, and I'm gonna have to cut a slot above it, slip this in, fold this up, and then screw in. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow morning. So I will see you on the flip side. Well, good morning. Back at it this morning. We're gonna finish this. Shouldn't take long. Last thing I was working on was that accelerator pedal. I was trying to figure out where that was, or actually I got the high beam button, right? So now I'm working on the accelerator pedal, and so what I decided to do was I decided that I'm going to slip this little bracket, little pedal bracket, through the carpet. So I need to slice the carpet, and what I've done is I've reached underneath the carpet, and I have found where the 2 screws are. And what I'm going to do is I've marked the left side, and then I'm going to mark a right, and I'm going to cut a slit right across here, and the screws are just below that, so when it goes in, it ought to hit the screw heads just fine. So that is what I'm going to do. So what I did was I took the edge of the scissor and I stabbed it, and then ended up getting a few holes in it, and then kind of like just poked it, and then I used the scissor to snip it, and because it's got 3 layers. I'm going through the Daytona weave, I'm going through the foam, and then I'm going through the felt backing, which is pretty tough. So but I managed to get it all the way through, and I think I got the right width. So now I just need to see if this pedal is going to fit. I don't know if it's the right width or not yet. It's pretty close. It looks like it needs to go a little wider. A little wider. I was even using it as a Ginsu knife. You know, boy, this is stressful. This is stressful. I don't have to tell you, you're probably panicking just watching. Then I'm doing it with one hand while I'm holding the phone. How about that? Maybe I'm just stupid. Let's see if that'll go in. There you go, it went in now. That's gonna be close. That's gonna be really close. And what I might have to do is I might have to take some heat and singe the end so it doesn't ravel. So I'm gonna need 2 hands. Let me see if I can't get this in. Look at me go. All right. So memo, note to self, if ever I need to take that pedal out, I gotta take the carpet out. Let's see what it looks like. Well, that looks great. It looks like it grew there. Oh man, that is something else. Oh yeah, all right. And the lines at the top look good. Line on the edge looks good. All right, let me continue fitting this and see what's next. I think I need to, one of the good things is, since Christine's got a stick shift, I've got a hole I got to cut here, so it's going to give me the opportunity to bunch this back together, because I want to say that it's a little bit long back here at the middle. But let me go ahead and fit it in. That's going to hold that corner down. The firewall pad's going to hold the top down. So at most, what I might want to do is I might want to put some contact cement in the nape, right in there, on both sides. So let's just see. All right, I got it shoved up underneath all of the firewall pad, and then the steering column I guess grommet, whatever they call that. It's all the way against the side. It's up on the tunnel. And then I've got it tucked up underneath here, and I've been pushing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to spray underneath there without trying to slide this down, or without getting this down. But I need to also make sure that this stays wide, because you can see there's got a little bit of a gap. I might have to get some vinyl and just force some vinyl in this little corner. All right, I just sprayed contact cement right there in that nape. And what I need to do is make sure that this goes up. I need to make sure that that stays up and over. Up and over. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. And make sure. Yeah, I'm up in there. Sorry for the cruddy camera work. All right, that ought to keep it from sliding. Now I need to get to the stick shift, which is somewhere in here. And you see what I'm talking about, how this bunches? I'm not quite sure what to make of that. If need be, what I might do is I might put some padding on the tunnel to just fill that in. I might throw some jute up there. Probably not a bad idea to fill that in. So I've still got time to do it. Let me go ahead and get this cut out, and then that'll kind of inform me as to what I need to do next. All right, so where the shifter lever is right here. So I took the scissor, and I stabbed it, and I got in there, and now I've got a mark here that I cut, and that's the center of the transmission tunnel, so I don't get this thing shifted. And it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut an X right here. And it's a big, huge, cover that goes over this. So this does not need to be super close. When I cut my floor to cut the hole, I cut the hole a little too far forward. And one of the things about Christine too is that, why are you not cutting? When I first bought her, I moved the seat too far forward, and I could only shift it in first and third when I test drove it. And I didn't quite understand what was going on, but the guy that I was buying it from did. I'm like, oh, I've done that before. Now it's cutting. All right, so there's my shift lever. It's actually a little bit to the left. I'm gonna go ahead and finish cutting this out. So there it is. Got it cut out. You can see how it gives me a little bit of room. So what I might do is I might be able to take up some of this slack back here. I might be able to cut this back, and the shifter thing maybe will cover most of it. But what I want to do is I want to put a piece of jute up ahead and then get these two corners down like that. So cut it, and I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to glue this down, and this comes just past the shift lever. So I'm going to cut that corner out. And that ought to help fill it out. That ought to help fill it out. So we'll put that down and then glue the two corners of the carpet. So I'm going to glue this to the floor metal, and then I'm going to glue the carpet in the two corners. So now you'll see, now that I glued those two corners, look, it's behaving. It's allowing me to pick it up. I can pick it up and it doesn't want to move. It's still staying stuck in that corner over there. So I'm pleased with that. Give me a little bit of protection here. I don't want it to go on my Daytona weave. I'm going to spray everything right now. be scared. Don't be scared. That down. All right, the jute is on the transmission tunnel. And now what we need to do is we need to get these two corners in there. Oh, man, okay. Get that down. See the jute coming through, I'm gonna have to cut it back. All right, let me work with that. All right, I got it in there. This is bunching up a little bit. I can't really help it much. Not really much I can do there. I need to force some weight in that corner to push that way down, but everything else looks good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this little nape here too. I know some people say, I don't glue my carpet. Well, you know, I want my carpet to look good. How's that? How's that? So we're gonna glue this. So it stays in that little nape right there. And that's gonna keep this in check. Keep it right where I want it. Yep. Yep. That looks better than this. See? So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. All right, let me glue that one down. Oh, it's paper. Just trying not to get the tar, the butyl. That's in the way there. And this one was cooperating already. So make that go underneath that. And then I'm gonna put, before I'm finished, I'm gonna put some jute in the middle. Because I can. Because I can. All right, let me clean up a little bit and then I'll take a step back and see where I'm at. I need to bring that Hurst shifter thing in here sooner or later. All right, now it's time to cut the edge, huh? And we'll put the sill on. So let me see how wide the sill is. All right, it is going to go on this edge. So if I cut the carpet back to this lip, I think that's going to work. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it back to that lip. Let's see, what about this edge? So where this edge is, if I cut it near there, so I'm going to leave some at the very end. I'll be able to clip that after. Just want to make sure. Might need to shave a little bit more. Maybe not. Yeah, it's going to want a bunch. Just need to cut about a quarter off of that. You would think putting in carpet would be a lot quicker than this, but it's not. That's perfect. That's perfect. All right, so this is going to go right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this. Like this for a moment. Eventually get it to where I want it. Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'm going to leave that long. You see it? See what I did? So I left this little bit of trim. See? So that's going to work out nice. That's going to work out nice. That's going to let this lay flat because this is all raised up. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut the forward part and we'll put the sill on. All right, I got it cut. And let's see, that's where the screw hole is right there. That one's straight down. Right there. The door is high enough. Let's see if the door clears. It should. Yep. All right. Let's do the other side. Last one. That looks good. Put the jute in the middle, clean up, and I'll show you the whole thing. Alright, I got me a piece of jute cut. I'm gonna glue it down in the middle. You know, I've got this power wire. This is for a cigarette lighter underneath the seat. It's for a cell phone adapter, so that you don't have to have a cable coming out of the dash. It comes under the seat. I put one of these in my Cutlass and it works great. So nothing magic about this right here. But I wanted to have something that makes it look a little finished underneath the seat. Even though nobody's going to see it, but if ever anything falls, you know, it'll have this. So that looks good. Finish gluing this, and it'll be done. And the finishing touches, putting the pads. New pads on the brake pedal and clutch pedal to go with my, not brand new, my original accelerator pedal, original gas pedal. Let's step back and take a look at the whole thing. There it is. Look how nice. Look how nice that looks. Daytona weave, two-piece, jute in all the right places, glued down where it needs to be, accelerator pedal inserted. It's all tucked underneath the firewall pad. Got the high beam button ready to go. That looks nice. Also have my sill plates, body by Fisher. That's gonna do it. Do hope you appreciated this video. If you got something out of it, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you enjoy my channel, I'd love a subscription. So the next time I see you, we're going to be putting in some door panels and seats. Cannot wait. It's going to look so finished when that's done. That's coming at you next. So until I see you next time, please take care of yourself. Cheers.